Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode here on the Hermitcraft Mesified server, and it is the middle of the day for me right now, and that is slightly annoying because I wanted to get straight on Hermitcraft today and start recording early in the morning, and now half the day is gone and I've done absolutely nothing. I say nothing, it's just been one of those days where lots of little bits and bobs have been coming up, and one of those things is actually some lag issues here on the server, and we are now, because of that, in Minecraft 1.9.4. So if you know what tick lag is on a server, we had lots of skipped ticks and that was causing lots of issues, and we updated and now we realise what the issue is. It is the Elytra launchers that have been popping up. So basically these have lots and lots of entities in one location, and the server is pretty bad at calculating all of the collision that's happening here all at once, because all of those boats are technically colliding into one another. Now in 1.9.4 this is slightly better, and it probably means that we're going to end up like reducing the amount of boats that we have over here. I'm going to knock a few of these out, but up in the other district it is really bad because there are 3 different launchers all close together, and if you're over in that area it can actually be quite difficult for your game. You know, you lose a lot of frames, it's difficult to record over there, and so we're working on these issues. But anyway, in this episode we are going to be breaking some bedrock, and I will be showing you something absolutely amazing that we did on a live stream. I've got a feeling there was a villager in there, and that villager is now gone. The reason I think there's a villager in there is because that's one of the things I'm about to talk about. Anyway, let's pop down over here. So we sort of did a first in this live stream. We'll come to that in just a second. One of the things that we did in the live stream as well was remove the people box. If you remember, I put an ugly cobblestone box floating here full of villagers. Really bad idea. Finally got around to moving it, and that's why I reckon that box up there had a villager in, because a while ago a couple of them escaped. One of them went into a hole down here, and now we've safely moved them through to the nether, where they'll be temporarily stored to go to the end. And the amazing thing that we did in this live stream was manipulate the position of an end portal, or let's rephrase that, an end city portal. We actually got it to spawn in the middle of the void rather than over at the end city islands. Now that's obviously a pretty cool thing, right? But why would we want to do that? Well, if you think about it, if you want to build a bunch of farms and things like that on the server, it can be pretty laggy. The best place to do it, the best environment, would be in the middle of a void, because there's nothing else going on there. You can stop Endermen from spawning, so no mobs to process and nothing else really going on. And, oh yeah, here's our villagers in the end. So eventually what we'll be doing is sending the villagers to the end to go to our little location, and there we will be starting a project at some point in the future, and it's going to be a very cool and interesting one, and we might even move the villagers in this episode. I just don't know at the moment, but what we're going to do right now is attempt to break bedrock, because I'd like to break some of the bedrock around those end portals, because they are really like annoying. If you throw an ender pearl into one of those, they can actually come out the other side, and you know, the ender pearl could go onto the side of a block and you could drop into the void. I want to be able to use those portals safely, and so we want to break some of the bedrock that's on them, and in order to do that we'd want to do a test first, right? Make sure that we can actually do this. So I've been watching some videos trying to understand how breaking bedrock works in 1.9. We've already done it one way, or at least Impulse did over here, and we're going to try a different method that involves the dragon egg. Now Scar has the dragon egg, I borrowed it from him, and I've been talking to Iskau as well, who's working on a way to duplicate items, because we actually want to duplicate the dragon egg so everyone can have access to it, and if by chance or mistake we accidentally lose it, which could happen if we're going to be working with it in the void, then we'll be able to get it back, right? So that would be pretty cool. So how does this work? How are we going to get this dragon egg to break bedrock? Well, I think it has something to do with the way that the dragon egg falls, or some unique property that it has. But basically, what we'll do is we'll have this in what's called a lazy chunk. So we can only see so far at the moment, because I've set my render distance to 10, which is the same as the server. And the chunks just outside of those 10 that you can see are technically loaded in a lazy way where redstone actually works in those chunks, which means that we can send a signal to this, we can get this piston to retract, and then the dragon egg will fall down and break the bedrock. Now I've already put down some redstone. I actually came up here with comparators originally, and I put down comparators instead of repeaters, and then when I powered the thing I was like, oh yeah, That doesn't work at all, and that's just because I had no repeaters, so I went and crafted a stack of repeaters, and now we should be good to go. So if I press F3 and look at the chunks that we're standing in, I believe I need to be on... where is the number actually? There it is, it's gone down to 1. Okay, so it's the far number on the line called chunk. I need to be standing here when this thing activates, because I do believe that means up there is now a lazy chunk. So, first attempt... The redstone will have now gone all the way. I think we'll just leave it powered to then go over there and see what's happened. Let's throw a couple of ender pearls for our convenience as well. And if this didn't work, I'll try it from a chunk further back and then maybe a chunk further forward, because I'm not 100% sure how it works. Now that is interesting. Oh, it worked first time! That's brilliant! We did it! Look at that! So we have now broken that one right there. That is seriously cool. I want to pick this thing back up and try it again. However, what I'm wondering is, can we then drop it from the same point, right? Or does this piston have to be directly above? I want to find that out, because otherwise we're going to break this one, then lower the piston and break the one below it as well. And I haven't... hi, did you go over there? It looked like it went over that way. Oh, you went over here. And how do I pick you up? How do I pick you up is a good question. I think you can drop it onto a torch. But what if I push you with a piston? Will you then drop? I hope so. We've got a block of redstone here. That'll do. Bam, you now become an item. Very good to know. Very good to know. Okay, so we've got to be super careful with this stuff. Alright, so we're trying it again. And we're going to put the piston in the same position. Aha, now I left the lever on. Next time I will disable that. And what am I going to do about this? I've got to walk over there. I've got to walk over there and come back, haven't I? You know what, this is our second recent attempt at doing something technical, and in my experience doing these sorts of things usually fails for me, but we have successfully manipulated the position of an end portal, which you're going to see soon. And if I didn't mention it already, we did do that on the live stream. There's a video on my second channel which you can find a link to in the description box. Right, so we power it again, but this time we'll unpower it as well, which may possibly yield a different result. I'm not sure. Maybe it was actually a good idea to leave it on. That could have been part of the success. We will find out in a moment. And yeah, it's just nice to see these things work first time, you know. I thought this was going to be really tricky using this with Dragon Egg, but actually it's really quite straightforward. Okay, that looks really good. That looks fantastic. It went through the other piece of bedrock and now it's down there. And that's it, we did it. We can now have a ladder going all the way up to our project up here, which I'm not sure if I really mentioned yet in videos or not. We're going to wait until this one is ready to go. I'm doing some preparations, let's say. And we got the ladders with us. That is really great. We now have a ladder coming straight up like that, and we have successfully broken bedrock a couple of times. I think we're ready to go do this in the end now. I really do. So we're here in the end, the place where we must look down as if we've done something wrong and been shamed. No, we don't want to make eye contact with any of these Endermen. Speaking of which, it's 1.9.4, so we should be able to look at their torso. Aha! And not aggravate them. That's good. I like that. Anyway, yes, we sort of did a Minecraft first over here. Now, there are millions of people playing this game. Not everyone is on YouTube documenting their experiences. And even if you do something first, there is a chance that someone else might have done this. However, this is seriously cool, and I've not even seen or heard of anything like this before. But basically what we did is make an episode of Myth Busting where we talked about where these portals would end up at the end city, and that was thanks to you guys asking questions. And what we saw is that there is a direct and straight line from the center going out to where it appears on the end city. And so it kind of made you think, hey, there's a bit of game code going on there that's spawning them in a particular way. And then my buddy Nembom MC had a look into it and actually figured out the way to manipulate where these spawn. And it involves placing blocks and then building a big bridge all the way back out into the void, and then doing some fancy block placing where you put down some endstone, and it works with the way the algorithm looks for a place to put the portal, and it puts it in your location. So again, big thanks to Nembom MC. If you'd like to see his video he's created on how to do this, there'll be a link to it in the description box. I myself may be making a tutorial at some point in the future. It'll be a lot more simplified because I don't fully understand how it works, but I now sort of know how to do it at least. And it was really fun, actually. Nembon was joking about it. Whoa, watch out, guy. That we were in stream and I was like Moonbase and he was like Houston, relaying messages to me over a chat so that I could make sure I did it correctly. And we did do it correctly, which was really cool. So anyway, I put all of my stuff into this chest and we are going to go through to the other side. And this could be a little bit scary. As I mentioned earlier, the reason we want to break Bedrock here is because using ender pearls to go through this thing is pretty dodgy. Sometimes what it will do is take the ender pearl through rather than you, so then when you do go through, your ender pearl gets flinged off into the void, and if you're unfortunate like I was, it'll hit the side of a block and you'll fall to your death. Yeah, so we want to remove that one and the one below it, and then you can walk over this bedrock and fall into this thing. Anyway, let's throw an ender pearl. Let's see what happens. Right, so that worked, and we got placed inside a block. This is something he mentioned to me that we would be able to fix. And here we are. We have our own portal in the void. How cool is that? Look, you can't see anything else over here. And I think I had my render distance on 20, and we could see the end islands, but they were technically not loaded by the server because of the render distance. It was just sort of left there, if that makes sense. Yeah, anyway, so let's throw an ender pearl and go back through. I eventually want to break the bedrock on this side as well, so we're going to try and attempt that. And then we'll be able to bring villagers all the way over to this location, which will be extremely cool. But anyway, we're now going to cut to a clip of me actually doing this in the live stream. Wow, that is really dangerous. Got to watch out for that. Right, so this might be in a video, peeps. And we're about to do a Minecraft first. We are Hey! We're going to watch a block come back after we've broken it with our fist. Let's stand on top of the ladder. Hey! Oh, there it goes. I don't like this. This is too laggy. Yeah, we're going to throw our ender pearl in and possibly create... Everyone's saying sand. No, we're making a portal there. Who's derping now, peeps? You're all saying sand. Think about it. Use your noggin, alright? That's something I don't do too often. Here we go. We don't need to think about it. Oh, why do we have to do this when the server's laggy? How long should I give it, peeps? How long? All you guys are your sand reminders. We're making a portal! Why do we need sand when we got a portal? Oh, come on. Right, okay. Attempt number 2. Did you see that? Did you see that? What the heck? What the heck happened? Did I throw the ender pearl right as it teleported us and then it threw it to the edge of that block? Or did something else happen there? Because I wasn't sure if I went through before or after I threw that ender... Damn it. At least we didn't pick up my items and fall into the end. That would have been the appropriate thing to happen, right? I mean, that would have been the appropriate thing. Come on. This is an extreme right here. What should have happened is I should have thrown that ender pearl, got all of my items, then fallen into the void. I'm very thankful that we didn't, though. Very thankful. You got rickrolled. Oh, I think you have to hear the song in order to get rickrolled. I mean, if I fell into the void and the void was Rick Astley, that would be something. Alright, anyway, we need ender pearls. I don't have any armor now. Great. That's fun. Let's not take more than 4 with us this time. Or maybe I should have taken 1. Elytra will spawn in a few minutes, says TR33C. Not quite true, because these chunks are unloaded. Yes! There we go! Sweet. Let's put on our items. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, we have successfully created a portal at this coordinate right here. And I do believe it's this block which is our spawning in platform. So we do this. It's still scary. Cool. And then with our ladders, we'll pillar up to this one right here, which I think requires us... In fact, let's just build a bit of a bigger platform at least, right? To go up like that. Don't know if we've got enough ladders, just saying. Right, we did it, peeps. We did the amazing special thing. Let's see if we can get back as well. Ow. There go my shins. Right. It's very nerve-wracking. Just drifting slightly to the side is life-threatening. Okay, here we go. Whoa, bloomin' hell. Well, down to 1.5 hearts. Let's not look at an Enderman. Let's not do that. Let's eat some steak. And we did it. There you go. That was the amazing thing that we were going to do in this stream. Let's get our sand back now. An equally amazing thing. Sweet. So there you go. That's what happened in the stream. And I gotta say, I love this dragon egg method. It is just so good. Works every single time. And now we've got a crazy line of redstone going all the way near to where you actually come into the end on the other side. And now we've got to do the same thing again across the void on the opposite side, which I'm not particularly looking forward to. But it now means that you can use the thing like this. As you can see, we have successfully broken 2 bits of bedrock, and you're just going to be able to walk across and fall into this thing, which is kind of scary. Let's see how it works. And yeah, that is still a problem, of course, and it's going to be a problem when we come back as well. So I really sort of need to work on those landing platforms, I guess you could say. But yeah, for this one though, we've still got to throw the ender pearl through, and this is what I'm talking about, by the way. The redstone, we're basically just going to have to go in a line in that direction, but I'm wondering about what we build it on, because endermen will be able to spawn on the blocks. So I've got to really think this one through and make sure we do it in a way that we won't get killed by endermen, if you know what I mean. This is kind of terrifying. Do you see that enderman down there? He's angry at me, but he's not coming up here. Oh man, what am I going to do about him? we can play a game here. We can knock the other enderman off the platform. Oh god, is that guy angry too? Oh, see you later. Hey look, it's working. We're nudging them off. Yeah, like, he's angry at me, but he's not teleporting up here. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? No endermen have spawned on this line of redstone over here. I was talking to my buddy Iskau, saying, you know, what blocks can I place redstone on that mobs won't spawn on? And he said in 1.9, mobs don't spawn on redstone now, which would appear to be true. There is absolutely nothing. By the way, you can see the end island over in this direction, and what we had to do is dig down over here after we flew over here on our elytra, place some blocks at the back there, and then bridge all the way over to the area off in the distance. Anyway, we're ready to activate the lever now, and this would be really cool because, especially if you're a builder, you accumulate a lot of redstone and it's really easy to place and remove, and perhaps you could put it like on top of a roof, provided that you don't ever look at that roof. It's a pretty good solution actually for stopping mob spawns. I've developed a pretty clever technique here. Go backwards, hold shift, aim at the side of the block, then the endermen go down. You also don't look at the endermen during the process, and that's of course because I've removed the redstone first. They've all ended up spawning on this platform, and I don't think I recorded it. Yeah, this was a success, by the way. It worked over here as well, so now we can drop into this one as planned.
Alright, do you want me to show you my hopper thing?
Absolutely, absolutely.
It hasn't worked though. Here's the board.
That's quite alright. The idea is that it might work eventually, right? You just leave it loaded.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not been properly tested because when I was standing here before and tested it properly, I didn't know that Cubfan was up at the sheriff's office and loading that chunk.
Ah.
So I lost 15 minutes just standing there.
Yeah, you got to watch out for other people on the server. So we are duplicating the dragon egg, right?
Mm-hmm.
I finished using it. If anyone else wants to use it and accidentally loses it, that would be a disaster, of course, because there's only one, so we're going to duplicate it. Iskau, do you see this over here in this lake?
Yeah.
It looks like some skeleton horses. Are they traps?
Horses. No.
I don't know how to tell if they're traps or not. No, they're not traps, are they? Oh. Sometimes they're traps.
Oh yeah, that's right, because it's just a skeleton horse walking about, isn't it? And
exactly. Then all of a sudden it becomes 4 of them, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Ah, here it is. Okay.
This is it. It's kind of grand. Actually, I see a missing piece here. You need...
I'm going to take the gunpowder out.
You need 2 jack-o'-lanterns like that.
You do?
For this to work. Yeah, and then you need slabs on the side, like that. And the fences, of course, that I forgot.
Oh, you need some fences as well. Do you also need repeaters pointing inwards like this?
Yeah, I think this one isn't needed after 1.9.
Oh, okay.
That one there needs to be in 4 ticks.
Oh, of course it does. What am I thinking? Alright, that's great. So now this thing may occasionally duplicate, but the idea is that you're going to be in your base, and then
Hmm.
if ever it does duplicate when you're moving around, you can come over here and check it.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Iscout, I'm going to give you 2 hoppers. It's all I've got. But what I'd recommend is once one of these is working, like you get 2 dragon eggs, set up another couple of hoppers next to it, and
Hmm.
then each time just add more hoppers, because then you like increase the amount of chance, right? Each time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Correct, correct.
And Iscout. Don't forget to put some diamonds in here, all right? Just for you and me, my friend.
Of course, this is how you earn diamonds. We don't need shops. Come
Yeah,
on.
exactly. That's what we're all doing. We've all got some secret setups with hoppers. In all seriousness, no, we're not going to duplicate anything but dragon eggs. It's like the one item that has a purpose that you can only get one of in the game, which is pretty crazy. I guess if Mojang ever do something, because do they have plans for this dragon egg? It's been a long time if they do. If they
Yeah.
ever added some sort of big plan for it, we'd probably get rid of them all and go back to one,
Mm.
to play it fair.
If they would have had any plans, it would have been in 1.9 with the end update. But
Yeah, you might think so, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did it in 1.12 or 11. You know how these things work. Anyway, Iskal, thanks so much for helping me out. I finished using the dragon egg, as you know. I think you want to go see what we've done in the end, right?
yes,
Okay.
I'm dying to see
Let's
this.
go check it out then. So Iskal came over here and checked out what we had done. He wasn't terribly impressed, and to be fair, I didn't really try to sell it to him. I kind of figured that this would demonstrate itself, so to speak, but it is at the same time kind of not that remarkable. I mean, you come through the portal, and where do you go to? Void, absolute nothingness. And if you know that getting a portal to spawn over here is like a little trick, then it becomes a little bit more impressive. Anyway, look how reliable this is. So what the game does is it looks for the highest solid block that isn't bedrock to spawn you on. So it's always going to land on this andesite, and so I've built up a little frame around the edge here, and every time we walk through, it's absolutely fine, which is really great. And you can do this over and over again, and it's quite fun to do this, but yeah, I should really stop already. So that's what it looks like on this side. Let's pop round to the other one, and basically black stained glass panes around the outside. You can jump over the edge, but the idea is just so you don't wander over the edge. And I think that's all we're going to do on this one for today as well. So what do you all think of this view? I love it, but that view distance is certainly helping. I can change that back now. I've had it on view distance 10 because we've been messing around with breaking bedrock, of course. Let's put it back up to 20, which sometimes freaks the game out. Doesn't seem to be doing that today. So we can see the same distance, but the fog is different. And do you know what? I kind of like it with the fog. I'm going to play around with that and see if that's how I want to play. Anyway, I've got some mail in my post box. As you can see here, we've got the Purge fellas send their regards. We'll talk about that in another episode. That's for sure. We get a bacon sample right here. I'm going to have a munch on this in a second. And you can see here the chop shop is now open. Here is a sample of our finest. So I just stocked up from Joe's shop because he's been selling steak. But it will probably just depend on price at the end of the day what I'm going to get next. And over here I've got a chest full of steak, and when that runs out I'll of course go over there and check out the chop shop as well. Actually, that being said, why don't we go have a look at the shop, because although we don't need to buy anything, it's built by Iskal, and Iskal is a man who knows how to build. Alright, I do believe this is it over here, and let's have a sample of this meat from the chop shop. Not so bad, not so bad. Do you know what I have been considering? I've been considering making a pumpkin pie farm. A lot of people have been telling me the saturation is just as good as chops and steak. And man, this is a very cool looking shop. What's going on back there? Is that an upside down pig? Oh my god, there's an upside down pig being roasted. Wait a minute. No, there's... Ow! I walked into the fire. There's one... I did just do that. There's one upside down and one that isn't. That is so cool. I do like... Hey, this guy's here. Sir Butcher selling the meat. And what is the price? Oh, it's the same price. Okay. And what is awesome corn? Corn or bacon? Oh, I see. Very clever. Very clever. And if you didn't know, corn is actually a brand of vegetarian meat. Now that sounds strange. It's like a meat substitute. And that's why there's the alternative in there as well. Anyway, I thought we'd look at this thing here as well. Look, massive Elytra shop. I've already been in there. You can buy Elytra, you can buy unbreaking books and mending books as well, which is pretty cool. The two things that, of course, you want to put on the Elytra, so it makes sense to put them all together, and that's looking pretty fantastic right there. Anyway, that's going to be it from me this episode. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like on the video. As always, thank you so much for your support. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you want to check out that live stream or Nembomb's video, the links to those will be in the description box down below. So, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.